Hi there, you lovely lot, and welcome to the latest episode of Pat's Procrastination, brought to you by the Pat's Propaganda YouTube channel. Please do not forget to be subscribing to said YouTube channel so that you do not miss an episode of this craziness now that we are back. We are back, even though it's technically still the off season. As you can see, we have our lovely decorations back, thank goodness. Thank goodness. So we are here only on the Pat's Propaganda YouTube channel. And don't forget to go over to patspropaganda.com to find out all the articles that I tend to write. There's a prop shop, so you can sort yourself out with some sweatshirts, some hoodies, some t-shirts, and some hats, I believe, for the upcoming fall/autumn season. So go over there. Make sure you're doing that. Do it, as they say. So, how are things with you, Chudders?
Everything's going with me. Football starts. Happy days. We've had the warm-up of a bit of college football. Maybe a former head coach getting humiliated again. Oh, dear. But no, proper football starts now. Looking forward to it. It's all grand. You're happy. You're excited.
Very, very excited. Can't contain myself, as you can see. Quick, before we get into the nitty-gritty of football, because as Chudders said, football is back this weekend as we record this on the 3rd of September, just because it's so early in the morning. But I just want to do a quick shout out to John, the Belfast Pats fan. Too much for me early in the morning. Happy birthday, as it's his birthday today. So he's a friend of the show, as they like to say. So happy birthday, John. Hope you have a grand day.
Happy birthday, John. Is he president or chairman of the Clazzy Clare fan club? I forget which role he's got.
No, I don't think he's that high up in the rankings. No offense, John, but no. There is no Clazzy Clare fan club, so can we just leave that alone now, please? That's ridiculous. Very ridiculous. Stop ruining John's birthday here. So anyway, happy birthday, John. So, as we said, football is back very, very soon. So, what do you want to tackle first? The Raiders or the roster? Probably the roster.
Let's do it again. Let's do it chronologically. Roster breakdown. Now, I mean, you can't even say it's final, really, because there seems to be moves nearly every day.
Yeah.
Particularly the practice squad has nearly completely changed since last week. The amount of players that come in. I think that I saw a note they've got a few more that were on trial yesterday as well. It's quite fluid. Probably the biggest news since we last spoke: Peppers getting released. Surprised?
Yeah. Just to backtrack, don't get me started on the training. On the practice squad. Just don't get me started on practice squad, because, like you said, no names sticking for more 5 minutes. There's no times. That's not the thing. The thing for me is, why are we just bringing in defense guys? That's my biggest bugbear at the moment as we go forward to Sunday and stuff. Why is the practice squad a rotational of defensive guys? Do they not know that they need O-line depth? Did they not realize this? Are they not looking that Vidarian Lowe is second on the depth chart? And as nothing against the guy, I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but him second on the depth chart does not fill me with the excitement and the joy that I want going into this. But yes, that's another thing. Peppers, major surprise. Quick. And the other thing that it brought about with the Peppers release was it brought about the Vrabel being very Belichick in a press conference. I was so happy that we haven't really had that from him up until like now. And I quote this part way through what he said. Well, Vrabel was talking about Peppers yesterday, and these things are tough decisions. We're just trying to get it right. It's great. That's good. And then he went on to say some other stuff. And then when Phil Perry asked him about the scheme fit, he said, we're going to try and do what's best for the team. We've got a lot of different schemes to run in all three phases: special teams, offense, defense. So there's... Oh, can't read my writing. It's not very good, is it? So there's that, and it goes again. We're just trying to build up to Sunday, and that's our focus. Apologies, folks. I was going to quote that, but my writing's so bad this morning that I couldn't properly. But my point was, I was quite disappointed with the whole just flim-flam it and say, oh, we're going to try and do what's best for the team. We've got a lot of different schemes, offense, defense. And it was like, that's so Belichick. Can we not? Can we just not? But it makes me feel like have they really got a reason? It's almost like they're covered, that they haven't got a reason. Phil Perry went on to say, because I like to catch up with TC and Phil Perry in the morning with my cup of tea or my cup of coffee. He mentioned that it's not better without Peppers, Phil was saying, and I agree. And he also said perhaps it is something financial, because they've got to pay Duggars, and they couldn't. It's no secret in the off season that they tried to shop him. That was on social media. That was something that's a given. I'm not breaking any news here. And it was unsuccessful, unfortunately. Is it just a case of they're looking at the ticket and like, do we really want to pay to maybe depth guys, really? And so to save a bit of cash, it just feels like at the moment, this wasn't the best time to do it. They don't have enough depth anywhere, it feels, to have done that personally. So it was a big shock. And I really like him as a good energy guy. And I know Deuce might do so, the Pat's propaganda overlord. He's a big fan. So I was concerned about his well-being, but I think he's okay. We'll check in with him. But yeah, it was a surprise, and the worry about the locker room energy for me, that building, they're still building in that building, sort of like the team structure. And I know Vrabel likes to talk about their identity and things like that, and I know in the Forge in Foxborough stuff, that's something that he talks about. And if you haven't seen that, folks, patriots.com, it's fantastic. Go and eat it all up. But yeah, very surprised. I'm guessing that I wouldn't, if I was put a sandwich bet on, you are also surprised, I'd win.
I'm also surprised. Yeah, I'm also surprised.
Yeah,
to some extent. I think that it's less. It does save money. I don't think the Pats needed to be saving money.
No, that's.
I think he is a NFL contributor. He's a player. He's not necessarily a starter, depending on the scheme you're playing, but he certainly could contribute to the team this year. I think you're touching on it more, though, interestingly, when you're saying about the culture and the identity that is trying to be stamped on this team. Now, I agree with you. I think he was a strong leader, personality, locker room guy. But I think that's where it's been very clear through nearly since the start that Vrabel's keen to get his own leaders in that room. He does not want any of the pre-existing leaders in there, because they've nearly all gone now. They've either been cut or gone elsewhere, contracts expired, etc. And so I think, I think the idea was to essentially flush all of that out. He thought, right, I probably only need one of Duggar and Peppers. Tried to ship Duggar, didn't work. See you later, Peppers. Go on your way. And I suspect he'll be picked up elsewhere. I might have been already. I've not seen.
He hasn't actually. And I saw something last night that. Sorry to interrupt, but just to clarify, that it hadn't seemed to be any real interest on the wire. So that was, interesting. I'm going to do double words so that I can see it. Buckle up, folks.
But no, I think it's more about Vrabel trying to get his leaders. You see now with the captains that have been released. I don't know if this is a good segue into that, if you wanted to say those. But obviously, go on then.
Oh, the captains, Drake May, Hunter Henry, Robert Spillane, Harold Landry, Marcus Jones, and Brendan Schooler, with Clavion Chasen as the game captain. So we understand that that's going to rotate per game. Only 6.
Why did you say only 6? Do you want more?
No. It was like only 6, as some people commented. Seems fine to me. You saying about the culture and the Vrabel wants to bring his guys in. Hunter Henry was very much a Belichick guy.
Yep.
So interesting, but he's he's been a captain before.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's probably one of. I mean, you look at that list. Obviously, Schooler is one as well. I think he was captain last year. I might be wrong. I think he was special teams. Did he not take over from Slater?
He may have been. No, Cardona was the special
okay.
teams captain.
So, yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
All the captains have gone that were last year's captain. Hunter wasn't a captain last year until midpoint because somebody went down who was a captain, and that's going to escape me. But he was like a second tier captain, so they don't have. I don't think they have any captains left that were last year's captains. Sorry.
I would say it's probably starters that have retained their roles. And those that were going to be on the bubble a bit more, and you could say, you could make an argument if Andrews had stayed around, maybe he would have been a starter, but also probably not. I don't know. But it seems to be, if you're a starter, you're elite in this team, then you keep your role. And really, obviously, that's Drake May, Schooler, I would say, is his special teams. He's led that very well. And obviously, Hunter Henry is your number one tight end. Everyone else who was more of a bubble guy, are you around more for your leadership qualities than necessarily what you're bringing on the field? It's see you later. We're bringing in a new regime here. I'm looking forward to Spillane this year, so I think him as a captain makes a lot of sense. I would say Marcus Jones was a surprise in that list because I think I was maybe 80% sure he was going to have a role, but I wasn't 100% certain he was going to make the roster even this year, depending on how people perform. So, and he's also one, and maybe I'm wrong, obviously not in the locker room, but he isn't someone who's really stood out in interviews and as a strong leader. But possibly it's not because he's not really had the chance to, and maybe he actually is. So I thought that was an interesting one as well.
Yeah, maybe he's stepped up this season, obviously behind closed doors that we haven't seen. We haven't been privy to, the media hasn't been privy to. Maybe that is a case of we're surprised because it's not what we've seen, but they're not because it's something that's very solid behind closed doors. And he's been with the team for a while as well. He's not a rookie, or he's not a first year signing. So I think that because with Spillane and Landry, they're both like new to the team this season, new to the building. So maybe it was a balanced out sort of thing as well. Some veterans, if you like, in the building, veterans, I'd say, more than anything, because Jones has been with the team for a few years. So yeah. I can't say I was surprised at anything. This isn't something that I really preordained though. So it's just like, oh yeah, that makes sense, or he makes sense, or oh, that's great, that kind of thing. That's how I see it myself. So for me, Jones wasn't a surprise, just because I don't use what few brain cells I do have on captains.
Fair enough. But yeah, tying that in, I do think there's a desire for this, for the new regime, for the new identity. And it's not just an identity, it's a new identity. And we needed as much fresh as possible in Vrabel's eyes. And that's obviously off the field because the turnover of coaches. It's on the field because the turnover of starters as well. It's not just depth players. And I think there was a very, very, very... It's strange because, like you've said, and I know I've said it as well a few times, there's quite a few elements that make you identify with the Belichickian way. But it's almost like he's actually trying to wash that. He's trying to get rid of as much that ties him to that era with these players, making sure there's not really any of those leaders. But the way he's doing it is almost quite Belichickian, ironically, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's sort of it's adding and removing from that identity in some ways, I would say. Anything else on the roster that you want to pick out as it is now? I think you did touch on, obviously, the practice squad makeup doesn't worry me too much. I think they're just trying to pick up the best players available, whatever position they are, and then see what sticks as to potential longer term positions, really. Who's going to get elevated, who's worth keeping around, and who, it's all right, it doesn't matter if we lose them. We can not much. I think as you touched on, the O-line is probably the biggest question mark we all have coming into the season. Now that wide receiver room has played out the way it has.
Yeah.
It's the O-line. How well is that going to perform? Not who's your front five going to be? How well do your front five perform? And then if there is a left guard, possibly if there's center, if there is a position that's in flux, how good are our backups? Or not say maybe even a backups if it's that we've got to change our left guard. The second man up for left guard, are they going to be a starter? We are keen to see how that plays out.
I'd like to make a hot prediction.
Oh, here we go. Do we have a sandwich? This is a sandwich?
We can have a sandwich, but I don't really know how we can properly measure it, in all fairness.
Okay.
A kind of hot take. That was the word I was after. My hot take is Garrett Bradbury will have a resurgence to his career and he'll be a great centre.
Interesting. Possibly. Possibly.
That's my hot
it's take. Interesting because it could very well happen. I'm probably not going to fight you on that one. The way I saw his introduction to the team felt more like, but when they picked up Jared Wilson, was more like, right, we're going to have Bradbury as some experience.
Yeah.
But ultimately, long term, our plan is Jared Wilson's going to be our centre.
Yeah. This year, I'm going to isolate it into a bubble of this year.
Okay. So Bradbury's going to have a resurgence. He's going to have a brilliant year, and then Pats are going to go, see you later. Not
necessarily, but he's going to do. I'm foreseeing my hot take that's based on absolutely like nothing, and people are like, this woman's crazy. Yeah, totally crazy. Don't care. Just having some fun. No, I love me some O-line. I love me some O-line. Centre, big place in my heart for David Andrews. Very sad when they let him go. So this is my
your rebound. This is
my rebound. This is my centre rebound. Damn it! I just realised this is my centre rebound. Well,
but your centre rebound is for Bradbury and not Wilson.
Yes, because Wilson is the future. Bradbury is up there now.
So Bradbury is just
Wilson. I'm all in on Wilson though.
He's the short-term rebound that helps you get over Andrews, but then you find your husband in Wilson.
Whoa! Why are we throwing that?
Is your long-term solution?
Stuff like this. Wow! Don't get throwing that word around. Wilson is definitely the long-term solution, but he may fit really well as guard, so he could be the left guard of the future. We shall see, but he's definitely a future good O-line. Nice guy, actually. So very, very in on him. But I think my hot take is Bradbury having a stellar year for a centre.
I'd be very happy with that. If we see some solidity on the O-line, some improvement, I'll be very happy with that.
People are just tuned out now because they know exactly how crazy I am. So they're just like, Chudders, you're great, but she's just a lunatic. So we've cashed out.
I think anyone watching probably knew that already, to be fair. Raiders at home, 1:00 Sunday. What's your predictions? What's your preview?
You didn't mention anything about Gonzo. Did you not want to mention anything about what everybody's talking about?
I'm going to pretend that it's not a problem and bury my head in the sand and not worry.
Wow.
Or that the meme of the dog sitting on a chair with the burning fire around him of this is fine.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen you do that. I don't think I've ever known you to like bury it away and be like, oh, it's fine. I'm really surprised. Folks, this may be a first.
I'll be disappointed if he misses this game. I will be praying that it would be maybe 2 weeks, but there isn't a long-term issue here. I'm assuming not because he's not being put on IR or PUP. But I'm just hoping and praying they're just resting him up and he'll be good to go very, very, very soon.
I don't like something that I heard on a media thing. Now, again, it's media stuff. That is he being extra careful, which I wouldn't blame him because it's his body, but is he being extra careful because he goes into a contract year next year? Is he looking at it from the financial situation? No, that wasn't a question. I'm just stating I heard that from a media person, and if it's if that turned out to be the case, I think I'd be a bit disappointed, to be honest with you.
I would be disappointed. I don't think it would be, because the team are going to be assessing as well. They're going to know. Plus, you're potentially also going to do yourself some slight contractual damage if you show yourself to be a diva who's going to refuse to play to try and protect yourself. Where he's clearly already shown he's an elite talent. There's nothing more. I don't think he really needs to prove on that front. He's going to get a bag. You might just end up harming yourself a bit too much if you don't train properly and think you can, right, well, we'll skip training and we'll just come in for this. That actually can do more damage than good.
Yeah. It's fair. It wasn't my opinion. It was a opinion that was out there. So I was just commenting for conversational purposes. So, as you said, Sunday, the Raiders. Can't do that justice. Won't do that.
Are you confident
that we're gonna beat that the Patriots are gonna beat them?
Yeah. Where's the Clare confidence scale right now?
If that's the top,
you're right,
and that's the bottom.
Okay.
If we're looking at the lines of my box here that I am residing in, I am about
6 to 7.
Yeah,
7.
Yeah,
you're about a 7.
Yeah, I'm about a 7. Yeah. I'm a 7. Where's Chudders here?
I would say I'm more like 8.5.
Did the Patriots will win?
Yeah. I think we got a good team.
Wow.
I think we've got a very good running team, which is a good way to start the season. Because the passing game,
positivity.
the passing game, I'd love it if it was hit the ground running. But if it's not at the start of the season, okay, do we have a good run game whilst that grows? Yeah, we think we've got an elite run game. So Stevenson can hold on to the ball when he gets in the game, and Trayvon Henderson looks like he could destroy teams. So I'm very excited for the game. I do hope the O-line holds up sufficiently well enough.
Bradbury's having his hot year, so
we'll be absolutely fine. Shouldn't be worrying about that.
Not at all.
I can't pretend I didn't have my concerns when we discussed it last week. I've not seen Drake May fire yet this season. Hopefully he will come out firing. To me, he doesn't have to absolutely light it up day one. But let's just see, okay, let's get back to where we were last year at the bare minimum. Let's get the ball moving and let's grow from there. You've got some better receivers probably around you this year, I'd like to think, and some receivers you can develop a relationship with. You've got a better offensive coordinator this year. Now it might take a few weeks to fully grasp that playbook. And also, I guess, for Josh to understand his sequencing and what's really working for this set of players. But I have more confidence in what the offense can produce this year than we did last year. So I'm overall, throughout the year, I'm expecting us to put up more points than we did. And I don't rate the Raiders that highly. So go out. I reckon Spillane is going to have a hot game. He's going to be fired up against his old team, and he's going to destroy.
That's a good one. I have concerns over individual players. Max Crosby, obviously. I don't think you can suit up against the Raiders and not have concerns for somebody like him, really. And Bowers. What are we doing against tight ends? And he's a very, very good one.
He's a very good one.
What are we doing?
It'd be interesting because he obviously was such an offensive passing weapon last year. Obviously, we don't know if Gonzo's going to play. You probably wouldn't.
That's what I mean.
You probably wouldn't put Gonzo on him, to be honest. But you'd like to think you probably won't put Marcus Jones because he's going to be too small as well. But maybe that's an assignment for Davis. So what do you have a score prediction then? Are you predicting you're obviously 7, so I assume you're predicting a win because if we're playing the Chiefs in the championship game, you predicted a win. So
we'll see. I might be predicting losses this season. We need
wow. Wow.
But yes, I predict a win. The problem is I haven't thought of a score. So
how many? Sorry. Okay, let's break it down this way. How good do you rate the offense? How many points do you think we could put up? Do you think we can get 3 touchdowns?
I really haven't thought about it.
Yeah, I know. We're talking it through now.
Well, why don't you just do your prediction and I'll just predict a win?
Okay. Well, you've had 6 months or more than that now.
No, to be fair, the
8 months.
Okay. Well, are we doing it every? People are like, oh, this is such a professional show. Are we doing a score prediction every game again?
Yeah. I'm going to predict Patriots 27, Raiders 20.
So you're doing 27-20 Pats.
Yep.
Damn, you took my score now.
You've had 8 months. You didn't have a score until I said one. I even let you go first. You cannot moan about that. My word.
24-14.
24-14. Okay, that's good. It's good.
That was literally from, pulled from my room. But anyway, so yeah. So you believe it's a winnable game. That's very good. So.
Yep. Okay. Go on. Well, I was going to say season predictions.
Oh, okay. That's where I was going to go next.
Excellent. So
on the same page.
You're obviously going to be very confident. What do you think? Let's dance around this a little.
I have a specific.
Okay, go on.
Over under on 8 wins.
Okay, so I was going to talk around this. What do you think the floor is? What do you think the ceiling is? And then what do you think the prediction is?
See, I'm just going over 8 wins. That's my mental capacity right now.
So 9 wins.
The over under. Yeah.
I assume.
Well, I actually thought 10, but yeah.
Okay. You think so? Your predictions. So hang on. So is your prediction 10 wins, or are you just taking anything over 8?
I'm just
9.
Right now, just taking the over, but I did think 10 wins. During this off season, that's been where my head's been at.
Okay.
So are you taking the over or the under?
For the sake, well, I'll take the push. For the sake of competition, I'll take the push. Then, if you're taking the over, I'll take 8.
Take what you think.
I think it's going to be 8 or 9. It's going to be an 8 and 9 or a 9 and 8 season. I would probably, if I'm being honest, I'd probably say I could see it being 9 and 8 more than 8 and 9. But I'm happy to lose a bet for the sake of competition, so I'll go 8 and 9.
No, you can take the over. We can both predict the same. It just means that no sandwiches are purchased.
Exactly. That's not fun.
When was the last time you had a sandwich anyway?
So what do you think is the floor in this? What do you think is the floor and the ceiling of this team?
I don't want to discuss the floor after the last 4 seasons, as in seasons of 4. I just want to take the over.
So I would think the floor.
I'm going to blanket over my head.
In my mind, the floor shouldn't be any lower than 6 wins. We've got a relatively easy schedule, relatively. I would say I think the Dolphins are weaker than they were in the division. Bills, I still expect the Bills to win the division, to be honest. Jets might be better without Rodgers, but don't know, don't care. But
we're going to beat the Finns, we're going to beat the Jets, and we're going to beat the Bills once.
So we're going to win 5 out of 6 in the division. Do you want a sandwich on that? Yes, I'm taking a sandwich on that.
Okay. I don't know why you do that.
Excellent.
You don't collect any of these sandwiches. You have no interest in these sandwiches.
In my mind, the floor is 6 wins. I think the ceiling is probably 10 wins and scraping into a postseason berth, depending on how other teams stack up. I think it's going to be hard because I think there's not many of the teams that made the postseason last year in the AFC that I think, they've gone backwards this year. I don't think they have. So, but with 7 spots, you can always just grab that last one. You can be in that hunt right to the final day, and you never know. Go on, Claire.
Going to beat the Steelers.
I'd like that. I hope that happens.
Steelers are going to be so overrated this season. That's another hot take that I've got. Steelers, Rodgers, all done.
But how high do you rate them for them to be overrated? Because I think the Ravens are going to be hot this year. I think the Bengals. I always think the Bengals are going to be better than the previous year, and then they never are because they're the Bengals.
Such a shame. He's such a lovely boy.
I mean, I don't expect the Browns. I don't expect the Browns to do that much in that division. So the Steelers are probably third best. I think. I mean, I think this is a chance. This is the first year Tomlin goes under 500 with Rodgers, but that's because I don't rate them that highly from the start. But I'm not noticing many people who rate them that highly.
Oh, I've seen.
They've signed some names in DK Metcalf and Rodgers, but Rodgers hasn't done anything for a few years now.
I'll do you a sandwich bet that they're going to win week 14. Definitely.
Home to the Bills. All right. Yeah, I'll have that sandwich bet.
No, week 14.
Is that? Oh no, is that not?
It's the bye.
Okay.
I was waiting for you to just take it off the bat because that would have been quite amusing. Because then I'd have won a sandwich bet, no problem.
No, I would have won a sandwich bet because they're not going to win.
How are they not going to win? It's the bye.
So you don't win.
Damn it. Quite good logic.
Oh dear. The hamster stopped running around the wheel for a minute. What do you think is the ceiling of the team then? You're gonna ignore the floor. What do you think is the ceiling?
The ceiling?
If you think realistically you thought it was gonna be 10 wins, I assume you think the ceiling is even above that. 14 games. Okay.
That's the ceiling.
I love the positivity. I do think you're a little bit crazy. I hope you're right.
That's fine.
But I think you're crazy.
Look, this show wouldn't be any fun if I wasn't, so...
Right. We don't necessarily need to have sandwiches on these ones. But who do you think will be our offensive player of the season?
Oh, the running back.
Henderson.
Henderson, thank you.
So that also answers who you think the offensive rookie of the season will be. Okay,
I think so.
Defensive.
Chisholm, though.
Okay. Defensive player of the season. You don't really care about defense, do you?
Spillane. Yeah, I love.
I agree. Defensive rookie. There's not many in there, is there, to be honest, to choose from.
Ponder. Isn't he a rookie?
Yeah.
He's that rookie. I'm wondering if he's going to be out there lighting things up.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I've heard good things about him and positivity about him. And we have like a minute left, so...
Well, to be fair, you've probably answered this in the answer you've given, because I was going to ask you, who do you think will be the best free agent they've picked up? But if you think Spillane's going to be the defensive player of the season, then that's probably the answer to that one.
I think that Moses is going to be like the best for the team, as in with what he's done in the off season with Campbell and what he can bring to the O-line as in leadership and bringing them together like that band of brothers and stuff like that. So do you have any, or do we need to wrap up?
No, hang on. I would agree, Spillane, I think. And you've already answered this, but the other question I was going to ask is, who do you think is going to be the best rookie? But obviously Henderson, I think, takes that. But although you're high on Chisholm as well, and there's a chance Chisholm could. But, that's a question. What did you think of the new shirts?
Oh, the rivalries one.
Yeah, rivalry shirt.
Oh, I liked them. I like them.
I'm not a massive fan, but It's fine. As a concept, I don't mind them doing this. Throw every season to have some new kit they wear for one game. I don't care, because if you like it, you'll buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
Yeah.
And it's a way of making money, and you know, you might hit on a few fans who really fall in love with it, and that's what brings them to the game. I don't think it's going to drive any away.
No, I like the colours. I know other people don't so much. I know there weren't Patriots colours, but I do like the colour, the very grey blue. It's a colour that Alex was right on PU. It suits most, if not all, sort of colorings and hair colours and eye colours and that kind of thing. So I think it's a good colour. It's a good universal colour. I think most people can look good on it. So I do quite like it. And I'm hoping to hit some apparel. So yeah.
Right. Last question for the season ahead.
You're not gonna things you asked me.
I have said Spillane Henderson, and I'm not a fan of the kits. Okay. Right, so at the end of the season, no matter where you think we finish, and no matter where we do end up finishing, whether we bottom out and we only get 4 wins again, whether we win the Super Bowl and we're picking 32. As of today, what do you think we as Pats fans will be looking as our number one position to pick up in the draft?
Probably O-line.
There's not a
edge rush. Edge rusher.
That's fair.
They didn't really get one. Those were 2 areas of need that we've just what draft we have just passed, and they maybe not have addressed that. So
you're gonna have to pin one position here, and let's see if you're right. Which are you going for? I think you've probably picked out the 2 most likely for one for each side of the ball.
Way too early prediction of who they're taking in the first round in the draft.
Yeah,
an edge rusher.
I think that's a good bet. Again, for the fun of it, I'll go O-line, and I think there's a chance it could be tackle, because it could be right tackle. I don't know how long Moses is going to stick around, and they might not think much of their backups, and they might think, right, let's get.
And you know who it's going to be? It's going to be a wide receiver.
I doubt it. We'll see.
Anyway, this talk is like way too advanced. Way too early. We're just a teeny tiny little seed ready to grow. So yeah. Am I wrapping up?
You're wrapping up.
I'm wrapping up. So that is it for episode 66, folks, of Pat's Procrastination, brought to you by the Pat's Propaganda YouTube channel. As usual, I am Clazzy Clare. He is Chudders. We are back next week, and we are celebrating our 2-year anniversary. Yes, folks, Pat's Procrastination will be 2 years old next week. So make sure you tune in for that and all the other shows as we bring you the game recap wraps now that the season is back. So tune in next time, folks. And as always, go Pats.
LFG.